So, dear audience, welcome to the third episode of CL Uni-Verse, where we have been discussing about ISB with Mr. Venkatesh, and I am thoroughly enjoying this process. In this episode, we are going to talk about life at ISB. Right, we are going to talk a lot about what the students do and what they go through, right, during the rigors and what other activities. So last time we touched upon some activities that we had done that the students involve themselves in on campus and off campus or after the course completion. So tell me, Venkatesh, what does a day-to-day life and at ISB look like?
Right. All right. So I think I mentioned about this in the previous episode that there is a roller coaster ride that a person goes through, right? And there are ups and downs and a lot of nuances throughout the year, right? But broadly, I can divide the life of an ISB student into two parts, right? One is pre-placement and one is post-placement, right? Because typically, if say the course starts in April, the first week of April is generally when the batch begins, right? The placements happen in the end of November or the early December.
Right.
So therefore, just around 6 months mark is when your placements are done. People are placed in different organizations, have accepted their offers, and then subsequently there's another 6 months of duration in which you are basically tension free. So therefore, if I have to now give a more detailed analysis of how the life looks in these two phases, right? So before the placement, it is very, very, very difficult, right? It's very rigorous. It is going to be very tough.
I can suddenly feel you.
Yes, it comes from a lot of pain. It comes from a lot of pain because, say, I'll tell you why. Because there are courses, right? Typically, a week looks typically a week of a student looks in a manner that there are classes from Monday to Thursday, and there are 3 days no classes are happening. So it's a 3-day weekend essentially. But trust me on this, the 4 days of classes probably could be still better, but the weekend are terrible. Because there's so many assignments, there's so many group discussions that you'll be having with your study group. You'll be studying for the examinations, you'll be studying for the upcoming tests or the midterms or the end terms. And since it is crammed up course, every 2 weeks you have an exam. So every second week, you have 2-3 days in which the exams are going to happen. So you are just on the go, studying one after the other, topics after topics, giving submissions after submissions, assignments after assignments, giving tests and quizzes after quizzes. All the while, you are preparing for your resume making. You're preparing for interviews. You're preparing for your case problem solving interviews. You are doing case competitions. You are doing ELP. You are preparing for your pro bono and so on and so forth. So it is so difficult to get through those first 6 months with this tension of what will I get placed into, where will I get placed into, right? That it's very, very difficult phase of ISB student journey. After placements is very, very good. Right? I would say that one of the best.
So before you start talking about after placement, I'm sure I want to tell the audience that half of them are pretty scared right now, and I would join myself with them right now. Right. So yes, please. After placements.
Yes. So after placements, and I think before I get into after placement journey, the idea also, right from the orientation week till the placements, that rigor is to get you prepared for what is to come. Because in most of the cases, be it consulting, be it Genman role, CEO's office role, you are going to be expected to deliver on very high quality output at work. Because the expectation from the premium B schools folks is that you are bringing a lot of good quality skills, high intellect on the table, and therefore you're getting paid the big bucks as well, right? So therefore that 6 months is very rigorous. After that, because placements are over, right? There's not a lot of pressure to kind of excel really well in academics. You can take up courses as you wish. You can take electives, whatever you like to kind of study on. The life becomes a little easier, right? Obviously, I will still say it's a relative easier. It's still rigorous to a lot extent because still the same assignments, professors will be after you for deadlines and submissions. Right. That will continue, but because you've already been placed, so you have that load off your head. and you can actually focus on just upskilling yourself, studying the courses that you like, and all the while partying. Great parties happen at the ISB campus, I would admit, and a lot of trips you'll plan with your friends post the placement process.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
So I hear a good mix of a lot of things happening.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So it is scary because of the work. It is also exciting, I'm
Yes,
sure.
definitely.
And then there are so many activities happening which are curricular, non-curricular, extracurricular.
Correct.
So great. But then how does one, because it's a 12-month period, and if this is how fast pace it's going to be for almost 12 months, right? What about the personal and the social life of a person?
Got it. Yeah, makes sense.
And to that, I would like to add one more thing, that I'm sure there are people who are, I know people who are married, who have kids also, right, who are joining ISB, right? So what about them? I mean, their personal and social life would get affected.
Right. I think that's a loaded question. So let me start with the first question first, right? What is the impact on the social life, right? So once you're at ISB, right, for that 1 year, you are in a very fast-paced environment, as I've already expressed multiple times now, right? You have things ranging from academics, classes to attend, assignments to give, exams to give. You'll have study groups to interact with. You'll have case competitions to participate in. You will have option of doing an ELP, pro bono, international exchange. You'll have an option to play sports, play music, be part of the drama club, and so on and so forth, right? And therefore, there is a lot of something we call it as a FOMO at ISB, that is fear of missing out, right, which comes into play. Now, something which I like to mention for the audience here is that one of the best advices that I got again from one of the alums, and as I mentioned, alums generally at ISB are a repository of great advices. So is that we should at ISB definitely not focus on FOMO, but rather translate into a JOMO, which is joy of missing out. So the idea essentially
is very much ISB, right? Yeah. So please.
Exactly. So the idea essentially is that you have to prioritize. And that is how you will be able to do whatever you want to do and whatever you have to do, all the while not affecting your, say, mental health or physical health, extremely.
Right.
Because there are so many options, take care of, or, to attend to. There are so many things that you can do. But you have to prioritize what you want to do and what you have to do, and then subsequently focus on those things and, maybe you want to excel in, say, sports, so you just focus on sports. You may have to deprioritize a few things, such as, say, because you would probably won't get time to do an ELP.
Right.
Just take an example. And if I take a personal example myself, I did not do an international exchange. I did not go for the ELP program. I did not take a pro bono.
It was a decision to let it go.
Yeah, I just let it go. There are a lot of people who will motivate you to do it, and it's a good thing to do. But I took a decision for myself that, considering where I want to be after ISB, probably that was not in the top of my priority. So I focused on academics, I focused on case competitions, so I participated in multiple case competitions, won a few case competitions as well. I focused on sports. I was on the field daily playing at least 2 sports. I was into the music club, playing my guitar, in concerts. I was there in the dance club. So I focused on those areas, but I deprioritized a lot of other things. And therefore, in order to ensure that your social life is not impacted adversely, you have to prioritize. All this while, you have to then focus on just that area. You have to focus on just those things which matter to you, but then ensure that you are kind of completely committed to it, so that you get the best.
So I think at the juncture and the work that we do, right? This is how we also work when if you want to grow in life, this is what you do. So I think ISB teaches you that in a very effective manner, right?
Definitely.
Life at ISB rather.
Yes.
Right. So the second part of the question which I was pointing to was about the personal life of those people who already have a family or, so please throw some light on that.
Got it, right? So, there are a lot of married people who come to ISB from the fact that 2 to 20 years of experience, is the cohort range of experience. So in terms of, I think one of the very important questions asked is that, is it a hostel that people live in, and therefore it becomes difficult for a married person to kind of stay there?
Yeah.
The answer is that you get perfectly, amazing 5-star kind of, service apartments to live in. You have an option to choose a quad, which essentially is a 4 BHK service apartment with all amenities. That generally bachelors, tend to choose. And then you have studio apartments in which you have a complete 1 BHK kind of
to
setup to yourself, and therefore a lot of families live on campuses. right? People bring their wives, their spouses, people bring their children also on campus. And in fact, on both the fronts, because your family is there, you feel motivated to study and perform really well, and therefore there's a lot of support emotionally from your family, because you have that kind of to your advantage on campus as a married person.
Right.
Simultaneously, your family also gets to enjoy a lot. Right. In fact, I would say that the best time at ISB are by the spouses and the kids and family of the people who are studying, because we, the students of ISB have to submit assignments, give exams, and so on and so forth. Go through all that pressure I was talking about, the stress and everything. But the family has all the best facilities of sports, swimming pool, parties to attend to without the pressure of giving exams and bothering about other things. And in fact, there's a very good spouse association, which kind of brings about a lot of activities for the family.
So there's a different level of networking happening there also.
Yes. Precisely,
right. Oh, great.
Yeah.
So what I hear, Venkatesh, is that it's a perfect balance of academic rigor, networking, and personal and social life as well, and some extracurricular activities thrown in. So it's a perfect soup for success.
Yes.
Great. With this, we come to the end of the third episode, and I want to thank Venkatesh for the beautiful information he's provided today, because I am excited. So I'm sure you are excited too. In case you want a free evaluation of your profile, you can reach out to us. The link, as usual, is in the description below, right? So with this, we come to the end of the third episode, and let me introduce you the fourth episode, which is coming up, which is the game-changing tips and tricks to get into ISB, which is the topic we are going to cover in the next episode. So see you on the other side. Bye-bye.